Hello everyone, it's a pleasure to be back again to talk to all of you. One of the things I want to talk about today is achieving success. I've spoken about it a lot of times, but what I've noticed is every one of us want to succeed. But we often wonder, what is that's stopping you from succeeding? And from a lot of experience and a lot of books that I've read, one thing I figured out that there is a wall that stops you from success. And interestingly, that wall is you. I'm not sure if you ever wondered why is that only 1% of people are really able to achieve what they really set out to achieve. And that's what we're going to talk about today. And the message I want to talk about today is how can you control your brain to help you achieve your success. But before I go into that, I want to mention about this brain principle. It's called a pleasure principle. It's a principle where your brain loves seeking pleasure. Unfortunately, it likes short-term pleasures, not the long-term pleasures. So it forces you to do things that gives you instant happiness and gratification. And that's what is stopping you from achieving your long-term goals, like being fit in next 1 year, getting a course completed in a long term and things like that. But the good news is, through many years of experience and talking to many people, I have been able to condense 7 things that you can all follow that will help you break that barrier, that wall which is you, and achieve the success, right? So let me start with it. The first one is what's called a 5-second rule. So what happens is, whenever you get a very constructive idea, within the first 5 seconds, you got to just start working on it and do something physical, like writing an email, going for a walk, or making a note about what you want to do and get started. A lot of people tell me that they don't have motivation to work out, but when you start working out, within 5 seconds the motivation comes. It's a bit similar to that. So think about the 5-second rule and get it started, right? The second one I want to talk about is what's called a 10-10-10 principle. Every time you want to take a decision, take yourself to the future. What would happen 10 minutes later, 10 weeks later, and 10 years later? Let's say, for example, you want to have your favorite cake. Just take yourself to the future. Would you feel guilty 10 minutes later that you had that piece of cake? What will happen 10 weeks later? If you do the same thing, you would be not following your fitness principles. And imagine 10 years later what happens to your body. Try this. I'm sure it will help you to control your brain and do what's the right thing for you to become a better version, right? The third point I want to stress about is what's called an if and then principle. You have to make sure that your brain doesn't control your decisions, but you tell the brain already what decisions you're going to make if a certain situation happens. Say, for example, if you wake up at 6 o'clock, you go to the gym. If you crave for junk food, then have a glass of warm water. So you have a method to train your brain that if something happens, then this is what you're going to be doing as an action. It comes by practice, so you're going to keep working on it, right? The fourth one, break your tasks. The mind, as I remember told you, loves short-term dopamine boosts. This is a pleasure-seeking chemical that is released in your body. So your mind wants to do things that is immediate, quick returns. When you have a long-term goal, break it into small micro processes and micro results. Say, for example, you want to write a book. Why don't you say that I'm going to write 10 pages a day, and at the end of the 10 pages, once you finish it, go and do something that gives you immediate pleasure, like watching your favorite show or a movie or playing with your kids or whatever that gives you instant gratification. When you break it into small tasks, it gives you the pleasure and you've completed the task as well, right? The fifth one, modify your physical environment. This is something I have been doing all the time. You got to have verbal cues all around you to help you achieve what your brain wants to achieve, and you got to control that. Let's say, for example, you want to quit a bad habit. Now, you can't be surrounded by people who have that bad habit. That's going to only help you continue doing that bad habit. It won't help you to break that. So you got to surround yourself with things that's not going to remind you of those things. For example, morning you wake up, you brush your teeth, have a poster near the mirror where you're going to brush your teeth. Stuff like that, that helps you. The sixth one, shift your focus from outcome to process. When you talk about outcome or a result, there's a lot of factors that comes around it. Like, for example, environmental factors, political factors, things that is not in your control. Your mind knows that, and then your mind will convince you that, hey, this is going to be difficult because the market is going to be tough, so you can't achieve the results this year. So it will stop you from going for your full potential. Rather, if you focus only on the process, then you are able to achieve your result. Say, for example, your process is, I'm going to meet 10 customers every day. That's it. You don't have a target of the sales. Then you are able to do that 10 customer visits, and that eventually will give the result as well. The seventh one and the last one is improving your self-talk. Have you all wondered, we all talk to ourselves all the time. Your brain, your mind voice is always talking to you. Make sure these self-talks are positive talks. These are talks that will help you achieve what you want to become as a person. As long as that talk becomes positive and more self-reinforcing what you want to achieve, you will eventually achieve what you really want to achieve. So that's going to make the difference from being a failure to a successful person. That's what I want you all to think about. So think about these 7 things, practice it, do share your comments and feedback, how you went achieving these. But till I see you all next time, thank you all again for watching all my videos, commenting and giving me feedback. Do continue doing that. I love to hear back from all of you. Till I see you next time, stay fit, stay positive, keep chasing obscene success. Thank you all.